What's up? It's Let's Get Paranormal. I'm Joey, your host as always. How's it going, guys? I haven't used headphones in a long time, just trying to make sure that the sound doesn't cut out or anything, but I might take them off. I wasn't sure what to talk about. It's been a few weeks since we get Let's Get Paranormal, and it's been 2 weeks since the regular Pitch Dark podcast. We just released the Dark Travels episode last week, about a week now. So check that out. It's at the Man's Hat Shop downtown. We got to hang out with Stuart Dunlop, and he was an awesome host. And I can see why that shop has been around for that long. It's not just, of course, the product is amazing, and then just his character, demeanor, and he's just a complete gentleman. He's a cool guy. And it's downtown where a lot of places are haunted, so it kind of connects. But let's pop a cold one real quick. Boom. I kind of farted. All right. So, yeah. So, a little update. Lately we have been filming. A lot, actually. It's been like 3 weeks since we filmed anything. It's kind of sad. But I'm doing this today. Yeah. I might have a guest on the Let's Get Paranormal stuff coming up soon. Maybe a couple of guests. Mostly like in the paranormal world. I'm going to try to see if I can get some people, even if it's just like a FaceTime kind of thing, which is cool as long as we get some kind of storytellers or something, or even someone that has a ghost story that just wants to be on the show for a couple minutes, is more than welcome to contact me. Yeah, I've just been busy doing the band stuff. I've been recording a lot, or trying to start, but some of the guys I don't know what it is. They're like, I want to show up to record this. I want to re-record this. Set it up, Joe. But then when they come to recording, they don't show up. It's like, why make me do all this work for nothing? And then, I've been helping another local band in town, helping them fill in for bass for like an upcoming tour that they're doing. So I'm doing that as well. So I have like more like one band practice. They're the only ones that probably are consistent. And then, so just learning their songs. And then, I got a car accident. I don't know if you guys watch other podcasts, but talked about a little bit on there, but I don't really talk about my personal life too much. But been pretty busy. Still trying to come up with ideas. I think I'm probably one of the busier ones in the production crew. So I have 2 kids. They're on the way, and trying to look for a car right now because we're sharing one car, which is a fucking hassle. And then trying to come up with ideas with this stuff. And starting to, make sure that I still put aside time for this stuff, because I don't want to just nothing, because if I don't work, nothing comes out. So anyways, let's dive into what I wanted to talk about. Today is it's structured a little bit, but I'm mostly winging it. So I'm going to talk about why I even wanted to be a ghost hunter. So I don't think I ever really talked about that. So I don't really talk about myself too much, because I feel like I don't like stealing the spotlight a lot. I usually, whoever's on the show or whatever, I usually let them do the talking. The only time I am on front of the camera a lot is mostly the paranormal stuff, because I film the intros and stuff. But I don't even like doing those. I don't like, I don't know, I just feel fucking strange. But even when I'm doing that, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the fucking where we're at, just so it kind of guides you through what's going on in the show. Because I don't want to just cut, and then we don't explain what the fuck we're doing. That's the only reason that's for that. It's not because I want to be on camera. If that you think like I want to be more FaceTime, that's their jealous side talking. That's not my intention at all, because I don't even like talk about myself. I'm not like, oh, I was this, I was that. It's just more about the viewer knows what's going on. Is pretty much exactly what I'm trying to do. But we're going to talk about how it's so weird. I don't even want to get in. That's why I keep stalling. So I don't like talking about myself. Fuck. All right. Well, I guess we can just get into why I became a ghost hunter, I guess. Well, let's start off with like why I think I'm kind of interested in this side of the world, or I don't know what to call it, the paranormal world. It's been like a kind of a thing since I was like a kid. Yeah, honestly, like I've heard stories from mostly my mom's side of the family, because they're really like superstitious, and well, both sides of the family are superstitious, but this one's more open about it, and they're like, I don't know, like my grandma, my great grandma, and my grandma used to see ghosts and spirits, all kinds of stuff when they were younger, because they lived up in Placitas. I don't know if you guys ever know what Placitas is. If you guys are not from here, just look up Placitas, New Mexico. That's where my grandma was raised, and my great grandma and my great grandfather lived. My great grandfather passed away like I want to say like 9 years ago, maybe 9 years ago. And my great grandma is still around. She still lives up there in the same house that most of these stories are gonna come from. So my grandma, my mom's mom, she used to tell me about stories about. Let's see, let me try to. There was a bunch of like superstition stuff. She used to believe in like leaving salt in front of like the door, or a cross under the doormat and stuff like that. So she was like really like, and I don't know, she really picked up on people's auras or something. She like knew when someone was a bad person or not. And I kind of get that too. I sense that sometimes. Like I can tell when someone is like a jealous person or have ill intentions or stuff like that. I can feel it like immediately. It's even with people like I still like hang out with too. I don't know why, but like not like frequently, but usually I kind of keep them at a distance. But yeah, she used to have stuff like that. My great grandma, she told me a few stories, but most of them were told from my grandma. But anyway, so when she was a kid, up in Placitas, I guess this was like a thing up there. There was these birds or witches, I guess, that my grandma said she used to see frequently. And they were always around like this little pond that used to be behind their yard, and in the woods, and sometimes on their windowsills, up there in Placitas when she was a kid. Sometimes they would fly up into the window and they would talk or laugh at you, which is incredibly creepy. I don't like, imagine just seeing like a little bird, and then it kind of looks a little off, and then it just says your name. And I have another story about a talking bird too, or it just starts laughing at you and stuff like that. And they were like these little like black birds, I think. I can't really remember what she said they look like, but they were birds. And she said that all the time they would be, she would see them all the time. Sometimes they'd be in trees and stuff like that. But the story that she told me that really stood out to me was she was at the pond, and I think I knew she told me she was wearing like little like slip-on shoes, which she said she regretted wearing. But she was on the side on the pond, and like these birds like flew, or this one bird flew onto the say like there's the pond, and she's like here, and like over here so she could see like the witch from like on the right, or not the witch, but the bird. It landed there, and it was just a bird. Like you don't really think about anything. I was like, oh cool, it was a bird. And she looked away, and then she heard someone laughing, and she turned back over there towards the bird, and there was a lady laying there like this, laying like this, like on her side, like relaxing, I guess, and just laughing at her. And she said it was like the most ugliest looking person she's ever seen. Like like a classic witch, she said, like the fuck, like the wart on her nose, and just ugly as fuck. Like a typical person you see on the corner of the street. But it was a witch, and she said it was laughing at her, and she said she got up and tried running towards the house, and as she was running, her shoes were like getting stuck in the mud, and she just left her shoes. She said she was just running because it kept like laughing at her, and then she just ran. And then I think she said later on that night, it was like in the window of her bed or her bedroom, and was like laughing at her and calling her by her name and stuff like that. And it was really strange. Like that I don't know. Like, she told me that story a couple times, and she used to call them enchanted birds. That's what they used to call them up there a long time ago. I've never heard this story before. Like, it sounds like a shapeshifter kind of story, but like she said that these were specifically birds that were called enchanted birds, and I never heard of it. I never seen one. Well, there was one time. So this kind of connects to like because it was a bird related thing. So this is when I was a kid, and it was a normal day, normal night, like nothing happened. I think me and my parents went out to go eat in town or something, and we're coming back, and it was already dark, and we parked the car, got out of the car, all three of us, and we were walking up to the front door, the front porch, to go unlock the door to get inside the house. So we're walking up there, and we're waiting for my dad. He's like getting the keys, or trying to find the key. You know, he's not in a rush because we're not, you know, nothing, thinking anything was gonna happen. And he's going through his keys, and I remember standing there next to my mom, and there, where the porch is, we had Christmas lights, like not year round, but like where the some of the nails still were like inside the porch, like that. Like just in there, there's like a couple of them. And birds used to go fly in there, and they would stay there and sleep there. Like no joke. Like they would every time. Like it wasn't an unusual thing. So that night, a bird flew in there, and then my mom was like, "Hurry up! Like there's a bird. Like, and I don't want to get like its little like claw stuck in my hair or something." My mom had curly like hair, and so my dad was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then still trying to. I don't know what was taking him so damn long. It seemed like forever. And then this bird, I remember looking at it, and it turned and it said my mom's name. It said Janelle. And my mom fucking like screamed. She was like, "Hurry up!" Like we were like backing up into the door, and my dad was like, "Get out of the way!" And then he finally opened it and closed it. We got in, and then we got inside, and that was probably when I remember that. I remember freaking out because I remember my mom freaking out about that. And I remember hearing it, and we were just trying to get inside that door. We were like all like piled on each other, just trying to get inside the house. That was pretty fucking creepy. And then there's another story. Go back to my grandma. I don't remember if it was my grandma or my great grandma that told me this story. I think it was my great grandma. But up in the mountains, there used to be like, I think there was some natives that lived there. I don't know which tribe. I don't remember. We're on the Placitas area. I think the closest to Placitas is like Santa Ana and SF, I think. I don't remember. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But if you knew what, because I know Sandia is like, that's the mountain right there, but I don't know if they lived that far that way, like on the left side of the mountain. I'm from Sandia, I should know that, but I've never heard of that. So I don't think we lived in the mountains. I don't know. I never heard that story. But apparently there was a lot of like Native American spirits around the Placitas area on that side of the mountain. And my grandma used to see like Native Americans all the time on our yard. Like not even like transparent though. She knew they were like not really there. She said that sometimes they would like walk she'd be washing dishes or sitting on the couch, or because she had, if you sit in like the kitchen area, you can see out the side door and then the back door. Like you can see pretty much out of both of them. And they're always in the living room, while you're reading like a newspaper, or they had like the TV. They only had 2 TVs. They had one in my grandparents' bedroom, and then they had one in the kitchen area, and they were both like old TVs. I don't even know if they ever upgraded, but in that area, I think she was a few stories she told me. She told me she was sitting there and she saw a man like half naked like walk in front of her door, and she was like, what the she was like, what was that? You know, she just saw like a person like half naked. So she went to, because she saw him walk from right to left, so she went towards the kitchen area where the man was headed, where she saw outside a Native American man, like in traditional clothing back in the day, like way back in the day, not like 1900s where they were wearing jeans and shit, like 1800s, you know, like a long time ago, like a loincloth and all that shit, and barefoot, I think barefoot, or I don't remember what she said, but, and then he walked into like where the animals were, where they had like their farm animals, and then just kind of disappeared. There's another story, I think this was my great uncle, yeah, my grandma's brother. And then so my great grandma, this is very confusing. I just realized how confusing this, because I'm like, my grandma said my great grandma, and I don't know. So Vi is my great grandma, and Linda is my grandma, and my uncle Clarence, I think it was Clarence, I'm not sure, might have been the other one, I don't know, one of my uncles. So anyway, so my grandma Vi, she said that I think it was the same spirit, said she saw it go around the corner of the house when she was washing dishes or something, and pretty much in the exact opposite of where she saw it last time. And she turned around, and the man was inside the house in the dining room area, and my uncle at the time was like a toddler, maybe like 5 or something, and he was talking to the man, and he actually took the man's hand. She said she remembered my uncle holding the Native American man's hand, and the Native American man was trying to walk him out the door, and she said, hey, stop, and the man stopped, turned around, let go of the boy's hand, and then walked out the door. Like, that was weird. Like, why the fuck was he taking this little boy? I don't know. Really strange. But she said that he would always talk to somebody in the house, and I'm guessing that's who it was. Pretty weird. But she said she didn't feel like threatening with it or anything like that. She said it was like a normal feeling. It wasn't like harmful or anything. I don't know if like maybe when he played outside, like he would be out there, and maybe he was just like, oh, let's go play again. You know, like, I don't know. Pretty weird stuff. That's most of the stories I heard about. I think there's another story about a woman walking up and down the roads or something in Placido, something like that. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've heard those stories. I was like a kid when all that shit happened. Ugh, I love Dr. Pepper. I don't know why. I think I like Diet Dr. Pepper more than I like regular Dr. Pepper. I don't know why. I don't really care about the brand on the videos, because we are not sponsored by a fucking thing, so I don't think it doesn't really fucking matter. Trying to think of another story. So that's my grandma. So there's I think there's another story at our other house that when she lived in Bernalillo. I can't remember it, man. Fuck. I wish my mom was still around so I could ask her about some stories. Because damn, it's been forever. Because my mom passed away like, what now? Like, god damn, that sucks. Almost. It's been like 5 years, almost 6 now. Jeez, it's been a while. Yeah, so some of the stories are like, it's kind of sad because some of the stories are like fading from my mind because I'm getting older and it's been longer and longer, and it's kind of depressing, like when some of the stuff that you remembered about someone that you loved is starting to fade away, and it's such a shitty feeling. But back to the ghost stuff. Try to remember that. But there's something about this house I don't remember. I think they said there used to be a man that used to walk up in the hallways and stuff like that. I remember that. But I remember this other story about my grandfather, my mom's parents. So they lived in this house, and my grandma really didn't like this man that my grandfather used to go to the bar with all the time in this place called Silva's, which is actually another historic place in Bernalillo, because it was just down the street. So you could actually like walk from your house to there. And that's why he used to go there, because he could get as drunk as fuck as he wanted to, and he could just walk home. Well, anyways, there was this man that always was getting my grandfather in trouble, and there was always like bad luck what happened ever since he met this man. I can't remember his name, but she said that she just got an awful vibe. So every time he would come over, she said that he would always like just stare at my grandma, because I think he knew that she didn't like him, or she sensed something about him, and kind of like tease her sometimes, like almost like openly, like I got a hold on your husband, you know. And she said that he always smelled like sulfur or something like that, like really like that evil smell, I guess, I don't know. And she told me that one time she was getting kind of tired of it, and you know what? I think there's two stories about that same person. I don't know if it's that person or another one, but I think he made something, a dessert or something, and brought it over and kept telling her to eat it for some fucking reason. And she just had a bad feeling about it. So she just never did. She just threw the thing out. And I think that next day, because she knew he was going to come over trying to get my grandfather to go out again. So she put a cross under the doormat in the front, and then poured salt around the house. And he came over, and it was weird because she said that he didn't knock that time. Like, he was just like kind of like, hello, like, I'm outside. And she opened the door, and then they said the screen door, and she was like, all right, come in. Like, Richard is he's getting ready right now. And he was like, oh no, I'll just stay out here, you know. And then she was like, come on in, like trying to get him to come in, and he would not pass that doorway. And he just looked at her like pissed off, just like, you know what you did, bitch. Like, and she just kind of smiled at him like, all right, well, just stay out there then. And then just walked off, and then after that he never came in the house. And then fucking strange. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking weird. You gotta be careful who you hang out with. Sometimes there are people that they're just jealous as fuck, and sometimes people don't even mean harm, but since they put out that energy into the world of like, oh, I'm jealous of this, my friend or my cousin or whatever the fuck, they just bring bad vibes to you, and sometimes bad luck. So keep those people at a distance. Be careful. Like, I've learned that from my grandma and my own personal experiences and stuff like that. It was pretty crazy. Sometimes they're blind to it, and other people can see it. That's fucking weird. So there's that weird story. I'm trying to think of like some other stories. My mom used to see a lot of stuff too, so like she would see things. Well, we both saw them sometimes, but she would see like people like that would disappear on the road and stuff like that. She would see like, it was weird, like animals like talking to her or something. Like, it would always freak her the fuck out. That happened a lot. Can't remember a lot of them, man. It sucks. There's some that I've told on here before a lot, like that I experienced with my mother. Well, I'll go to so there's this one house that we used to live in on this side of town, actually, on the west side, near Cibola High School. It's the neighborhood that's a little up the street. It's like past the Smiths, If you go up McMahon, it turns into, or is it Allison and turns into McMahon, or McMahon turns into Allison? I don't know, one of those. But it's like right, I think it's like River or something. I don't know. After you pass the Smiths, and then it's like the next right. It's in that little neighborhood. There was a 2-story that me and my mom and my grandmother used to rent, and we lived there for a while. That was the first time I actually had my own room for years, because after my parents got divorced, me and my mom pretty much lived with my grandma. My grandma had like pretty much a 1 bedroom house, and we lived there for like a little bit, but it was sleeping on couches and shit like that. And then we lived with my mom's friends that had like an extra room, and we were sleeping like on a futon. I was sleeping on the floor, and then moved into an apartment, and then that was also a 1-bedroom apartment, so I slept on a couch. And then we finally got this house. So I really remember this house because it was like the first time I had my own bedroom, and it was actually kind of nice. I actually had a bed and stuff. And it wasn't a nice bed, but it was better than anything I was sleeping on before. So it was a 2-story bedroom, and it was a 3-bedroom house, and you had like pretty much 2 living rooms. I had like a living room, dining room, a garage, a kitchen, a backyard, and it had like a loft or stairs, a landing, and then a stairs, and then the loft. It was pretty much like another living room. It was really nice. And then the 3 bedrooms of their master bedroom and the 2 other smaller bedrooms. And the smaller bedrooms had like a bathroom up on the top floor. There was 3 bathrooms, one under the stairs, and then there was one like near the 2 smaller bedrooms, and then one in the master bedroom. Master bedroom was the only one that had like a walk-in shower and a bathtub that were like separate, and a walk-in closet. My bedroom just had a closet, and that was pretty much it. And when we moved there, I think all of us, because I don't know if we were all like in tune or something, but we felt like there was definitely something else there. There was like some occurrences there pretty much right off the bat. It was mostly like footsteps at first. Like I kept feeling like even at night, you would, like, if you'd be in the living room by yourself and no one was home, you would, or even during the day too, you would hear every time it was someone would walk out of my mom's room, and then you would hear it go across the loft and then stop at the top of the stairs and then turn around and go back. I don't know why. Like that would happen all the time, and every one of us have heard that together by ourselves every time. I don't know why. Like that seemed. I don't know if it was like a memory replaying all the time. Maybe someone just used to come and look over the loft, which I understand. I used to do that too. Like it was kind of like I would just come out of my room and then just kind of lean on the loft and look down, or if someone came home, like this, like it's because you could see like the front door open, and or sometimes you would just like yell for something, like, "Hey, can you throw me up something?" or whatever, or sometimes you just drop your laundry over the loft because you don't want to carry them down the stairs. It was a nice house. I actually kind of missed that house. Like if it was ever for sale and I could afford it, I'd probably buy it. Especially because there's ghosts in there. So that happened a lot. There was other times where you actually heard someone talking upstairs, or even down. If you're upstairs, you'd hear it downstairs. There's always like a woman and a man arguing or talking or something. I don't know if that was upstairs. I just heard it was upstairs. But yeah, all the time. You'd always hear if you were downstairs, you'd hear someone upstairs faintly talking about maybe someone left the TV on or something. And then upstairs you would think maybe someone's watching TV downstairs, or someone left the TV downstairs or something. And then you would start walking downstairs, and then right before you look around, it would just go silent. Fucking weird. Or when you go upstairs, because the loft area, when you walk up the first flight, it's behind you, so you're kind of looking up as you're walking, and you can still hear the voices, and you're crawling up, and then right before you get to the top of the stairs, goes quiet, and you wouldn't hear anything. Really weird. That used to happen, and then my grandma used to she would hear the same thing. She would hear like people talking or something. My mom too, and I don't know what it is. And even our dog would like bark upstairs, or like he would like look up at the top of the loft and like kind of like growl or bark or something like that. It's fucking weird. I remember that a lot. And one of the weird things I remember still gives me kind of chills. Like, it wasn't, I don't know what it was about my mom's walk-in closet or in the bathroom. It always gave me like a weird vibe, for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but I always had like a weird bad feeling, or like, I don't know, like a bad feeling, but like a uneasy feeling of someone's watching me. I didn't like that closet. I didn't like that bathroom really that much either. I don't know. Really weird. But there was actually my mom used to tell me that she would feel like someone was watching her from that bathroom when she'd be in the room, or sometimes she would wake up to someone walking from the bathroom to the door, or the other way around. She would wake up to like footsteps, or someone sitting on her bed or something like that, which is pretty creepy. She didn't tell me that until like after we moved out, which is fucked up, because it's like, you could have told me, because like I was experiencing stuff on my own and I would tell her right away. But I think she just like, we're just so excited to finally be living in an actual house and stuff, that she didn't want to like, make it like I guess like oh, we should move out, like I wasn't even thinking that in the first place. Like, I wasn't like, oh, it's so scary here, let's move out. It's just more like I like living here, but there's some stuff happening. So this one time, and it has to do with this bathroom, and my mom's, so no one was, I think I woke up, because I used to work grave shift. So I would get off work at like 7 o'clock in the morning, come home, and then go to sleep, and I would sleep till like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I didn't know who was home or who wasn't home. So one day, I think I got off work, went home, went to sleep, got up probably like around like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I don't know, and I remember waking up, and I went downstairs I didn't even check who was home. I just went straight down. Came out of my room, went straight downstairs, went to the kitchen. I think I went to go make myself something to eat or something like that. And I think I was coming back upstairs with my food or something like that. And as I was coming up the second flight of stairs, I heard the shower on in my mom's room. And I was like, oh shit, maybe, I guess she's home, and then, so when you go to my mom's room, there's 2 windows that look outside onto the driveway, so you can actually see who's home, because we didn't park in the garage, because we had like a lot of stuff, and then plus like I think I used to have band practice in there. We used to use it as like a hangout area. It was like another room, like almost like a lounge area or whatever the fuck. We had we had a TV in there and everything, but so I would know if she was home, because I just like, oh, I didn't know she was like home. So I went in, and it was like I could still hear the shower on, and I went into her room because the door was open. So I was walking up the stairs, heard the shower on, and then as I walked into her room, because like there's the room, and then the bathroom's like in the opposite corner of the door, and so I walked in because I was like, I thought she wasn't home, So I came out, looked out the window, or I went into the door, and right when I went to the bedroom door, the shower turned off. And what's funny is that as I was walking towards the door, I heard someone like humming, like they were singing in the shower. It's like, like a little tune. And the shower turned off right when I walked into the bedroom. I was like, what the fuck? And the blinds were open, so I quick looked right out the blinds, and I was like, my mom's car's not here. What the fuck? So then I was like, Mom, because I didn't want to just go in the bathroom, but the door was open, which was weird because she don't shower with the door open. And I was like, Mom, hello, and I start walking towards the bathroom, and I'm just like, And I go in there, and no one's in there. All the lights are off. Like, I don't think she'd be showering in, because the bathroom was pretty dark without the lights on. And I opened the shower door, and it was wet. It was wet, like someone just took a shower. And I think even the windows were like a little steamy. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was like humid in the room. That creeped me out. I immediately just like got out of that bathroom, went into my room and closed the door. I just turned on the TV or something. I think I called my mom, and I was like, what, you do not believe what just happened. Like, and I told the whole story. Yeah, I remember hearing a woman humming, like a song to herself or something while she was there in the shower. It was pretty creepy. I still remember pretty vividly that one. Because I was like 23 or something at that time, so I wasn't like a kid, you know, like it's not something I don't remember. That was like one of the first times I remember pretty damn clear what happened. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I was just like a stupid kid and thought I saw this or whatever. This was like when I was like 23, 22. Pretty creepy stuff. So there's another story that's in that same house. These stories I'm going into detail because I think on the regular podcast when I was talking with Kyle, I just like told the story real quick, like what happened. And so this other story is in the same house. So my ex moved in with us. She was staying in the same room with me, and my dog was there, the same dog I was talking about earlier. So this time, can't remember. So my room, I'm trying to like map it out for you guys. So you walk into my room and you'll see like a entertainment center on the right side with the TV, and then the bed was like from the corner where the window was, and then up to like where, like almost in front of this closet that was on the left side. There's like a little space to walk between the closet and the bed, and a little space to walk between the TV and the bed. So it was a really small room, and my dog was in there with us, or no, I don't even know if he was in there. I thought he was in there. So anyways, went to bed, and I always had a eerie, it's weird because in front of the closet there's like this, the floorboard was loose in just a specific little square. Like it was like a little bigger than this tablet. And like you could feel like the outline of like the square under the carpet. And it was like really loose, almost like you could take the carpet off and there's probably like a hidden thing. I never did. I should have, but I never did. And it was right in front of the closet. And I always got weird feelings from my closet as well, like something was watching me or something. I don't know what's with closets in this house, but so anyways, I fell asleep. I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, like this is like some movie shit. Like I in my sleep I hear a woman like screaming her fucking head off, like just think of someone just screaming like this, like someone just got stabbed or is getting stabbed. And I woke up to that, and it, like I remember hearing in my sleep, and I woke up, and I was sleeping with my head towards the closet. So on this side, and the closet's over here on this side, or I'll do it like this over here. So I get up, turn around, and that screaming is coming from inside my closet, and it like just goes quiet, like it's almost like it was screaming like halfway of me through a sleep and waking up, and then like, and then just like abrupt stop, and it was coming from the inside of my closet. That like just thinking about, I got like the hair standing up on my shoulders right now. I just feel the chills. If I was a hairy guy, but I remember hearing that, and like when you go through stuff like that, you try to rationalize, like maybe I was halfway awake, and maybe I was just like dreaming it, and I woke up and I was still like in that dream state, like because you just woke up, you don't know what the fuck's. you'd slap me and I'd be like, wake up, like, what was that? Like, But what was creepy is that I heard that, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Let's go back to sleep. So I lay back down, and I'm still thinking about it, and then weirdest thing, I tell you, like a movie, the whole bed starts fucking like shaking. That fucking creeped me the fuck out. Like, it just starts, like, at first in my head I'm just thinking like, no, that can't be. Like, it's just me feeling like I'm shaking, like how like when you get off like when you go, I don't even know how to explain it, like on a dirt road for a while, and then when you get out you still feel like you're like in the car where it feels like it's shaking. That's kind of what it felt like at first. And I was like, it's just in my head. Like, there's no way this bed is shaking. It's fucking stupid, And then it starts getting worse, and I don't know. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Because I don't want to get out the bed. Like, part of me wanted to run out, but at the same time, like, what if something grabs my fucking leg or something? I didn't want to fucking feel that. So I just just laid there sitting up, and I was like, what the fuck? And it's just going like this. I'm shaking the table now. And it's like this pretty much. Like, nothing crazy where it's like lifting off the fucking floor, but just like that. And then it just stops. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't think I really slept that much that night. I think eventually, like, I got tired enough to fall back asleep, but I think I might have slept in the living room that night. I don't remember. But that was creepy. Even Kyle said he used to, like, feel like someone was watching him from the stairs every time he would sleep over there. But I don't know. It was a weird house. Like, the stuff like that happened a lot. I think the garage door kept opening by itself a couple times, but that was probably like the top things that happened there. Like, oh yeah, no, there's another time, because my uncle was staying with us for just a little bit, because he just got out of like rehab and he needed a place to stay, so he stayed with us for a little bit. He was actually sleeping on the loft area. There was like a futon that I bought, and it converted into like a bed, so he was using that. And there was a TV on the loft too, so you'd watch TV. So he was like right outside our rooms. And then that bathroom I was talking about, that were near the smaller bedrooms, he would use that one, of course. So one night he went into the bathroom and he was taking a shit, I guess, and he said that he was sitting there, as we were all asleep. He said it was like in the middle of the night, so it was like probably like 3 a.m. or something like that. And he was sitting there, and he saw like the doorknob start moving. And it was one of those ones where you just have like a twist lock. And he said that he was sitting there and it was moving. And he was like, "Hey, I'm in here." And then it kept moving, like trying to turn. And then it stopped, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in here." And kind of annoyed, And so he was sitting there, and then he said, he looked at the knob, and he said, like, because on the other side of the doorknob, there's like that little line where you can put like a coin in there and turn it. Because you can do it if you have like a long enough nail, you can just put it in there and turn the lock and unlock it. But he said he was in the bathroom just sitting there, and he looked over and he was like staring at it, because he could hear the knob start moving again. And he said he started seeing the lock start turning, like it was about to unlock. So he was like, "Oh, okay." Like, he thought it was me messing with him, just like I would never do that. Like, I never would walk into somebody in the bathroom. So it's like, okay, like he was like ready to like, so he was waiting for that lock to start, turn open. So he said when he was turning open, right when it was about to unlock, he like grabbed the knob and he yanked it open, and he was going to try to scare me or whoever the fuck he thought was on the other side of the door. But he opened it and nothing was there. Fucking weird. So that's like someone else that wasn't living there since the beginning. They actually had something happen to them. Really weird stuff, and that was pretty consistent through the whole time we lived there. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, nice house though. It was a nice house. Didn't scare us away, but so honestly, if there's a house in town that nobody wanted to live in and it was selling for cheap and it was a nice ass house, I'd buy that fucker up. I wouldn't care. I'll be like, ghosts can chill. I don't care. Because I need a house. But yeah, that was like the whole story of that house. I think that kind of feeds into like, well, like me being a ghost hunter and stuff. Like, was this like things kept happening since I was a kid until like I was like my 20s, and then not too much like now, like as much as like, well, I guess now because I'm like going ghost hunting and stuff, I'm going to actual haunted locations. But I don't know, like a part of me always thought like maybe it's just my imagination, maybe I'm full of shit, you know. Like maybe, oh yeah, my auntie used to see a lot of stuff too. She didn't like it though, because she had like this weird ability where she didn't like looking at clouds. She hated looking at clouds because, you know, you can see shapes in the clouds. Well, every time she looked in the clouds, she would sometimes see relatives' faces in the clouds, and she said that usually when she saw, not usually, but every time she saw like a family member in the clouds, like that kind of resembled them, or they would die like a little after that. So she was always terrified of looking at the sky because she would always be afraid that she would see one of us or another family member or something. So that was like a weird ability. I've never heard of that. She was the only person. I think there's been a story I heard online about that too. It's like called cloud reading or something like that. But my auntie had that ability, and she would she didn't like looking at the clouds for that specific reason. Because I remember when I was a kid, or not a kid, but I think I was a teenager, and I remember telling her, like, hey, look at the clouds, like, that one looks like a fucking, I don't know, like a giraffe, or whatever the fuck some stupid kid shit, you know. And she was like, no, oh, that's cool, I don't like looking at it. And she told me that story. And she told me like years later again, that was really weird. And then she had some stuff in her house too, like, she used to see like a little girl and a woman that like in old like tiny clothes and stuff in that area, and she used to live like on like 98th and a little farther down, like farther down 98th, almost towards like where the Mesa killings happened. But it was pretty strange. I had some experiences there. To me and my grandma actually had the same experience in my auntie's house, because there never used at the time that like over there. Now it's like fucking like what? There's all kinds of houses built over there and stuff. And when my auntie got her house for the first time over there, it was like the first time they ever broke ground over there. There was nothing out there. Even like when she lived there was like nothing there. There's no stores. She had to like go down the road to like Central and stuff where all the stores were. And but when I used to stay there as a kid, like I was like probably like 10, 11 probably. And when I used to stay there, there was one time, I can't remember, but they all had to go somewhere. And they actually had family in town from Mexico, because my uncle was from Mexico, and his family would come visit. And I think I wanted to sleep in that night, because they woke me up and like, hey, we're all gonna go to the store. Do you want to come, or you can stay here if you want? And I was like, yeah, let's stay here. And so everybody left. So I fell asleep, and then I woke up. I went to the bathroom, got up, came out of the bathroom, and I heard like a bunch of people talking like near the living room area, and their hallway zigzags, so it's like you go straight, you have to make a left, and then take another long hallway, and then you get to the living room. And I remember coming out of the bathroom, I was like, what the hell? I guess they're back. I guess they just came back. And so I start walking out there, like still like not half asleep, because I kind of woke up, and I was still like in my pajamas. And I start walking towards the living room, and then right before I get to the living room, it goes dead silent. Like it sounded like there was a bunch of people, like almost like when you walk into a cafeteria and there's like you hear a bunch of people's voices, like when you're approaching the cafeteria and you hear a bunch of everybody talking. That's what it sounded like. And I get there and it just goes quiet. And it happened twice. So this other time, it was in the middle of the night, and I actually was gonna go get a glass of water, and so I didn't like going down the hallway because it's so dark in the living room. But I remember walking that way, and I was like, I'm just gonna get something to drink. And again, like I heard people talk, not as loud as this other time, but it sounded like someone was just talking in the living room. I was like, oh, someone, maybe they're still up and they're watching TV in the living room, or they're in the kitchen because they used to hang out in the kitchen area. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're still up. And I'm walking in there, and then right when I get in the living room, it's like dark as fuck in there. And all I hear is like, shh, 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 he's here, shh, like from different areas, like voices from different corners of the room. And I like froze, and I was like, what the fuck? And I ran and turned the light on. I was like, I don't know, for some reason they were just hanging out in the dark. Nobody was in there, nothing. Dead silent. I didn't even get my glass of water. I just went straight to the back to the room. That freaked me out. I didn't like that. That creeped me out. And then my grandma had the same experience with the first time. She said that it sounded like there was a damn party in the damn living room. When I walked out there, and she said there's nobody there. And that, she said that kind of freaked her out too. But it's kind of crazy that me and her had like the both same experience. Pretty crazy. Me and my grandma used to have the same experience in the two-story house too, the one I was talking about before. Same kind of stuff. She said it was creepy. I don't know. But yeah. And I think all those experiences put together, and me wanting to be a ghost hunter, I didn't really get into that much, but I don't know. Like, I always wanted to do like a YouTube video. Well, I grew up watching ghost hunting videos, like Ghost Adventures, and then there was another one I don't remember. I remember there was this one time. I think it was like, has it been like early 2000s, like 2005 or 6 or maybe even 4. I don't remember. But there's this one show. It was like a Halloween special. It was Halloween night. I was hanging out with a friend of mine at his house, and we were watching. Honestly, don't remember what the hell we were watching. I don't remember what the show was, but it was on the Travel Network. I remember that because I remember the stupid little travel logo. And they had a special where it was like live at the, what was it? The Winchester Mansion, Mystery House. And they were doing like a live ghost hunting thing. And it was like I remember this girl, she had like short blonde hair or something. And she was supposed to be like a ghost hunter or a medium or something. And they were having stuff like pull them or something like that. But they didn't really find too much. But they have like a live chat on the screen, and people were like, "Oh, I'm sensing this and that," and I was like, "What the fuck?" We were just watching it live until we fell asleep, I think. And I thought that was like one of the coolest things, like, and seeing other people go hunt. I was just like, "Damn, that looks like it looks scary, but it looks like fun." Because I used to like going to like haunted houses and stuff like that. I went to it wasn't back then, but I used to just like, I think. Actually, it was a few years before that. It was my first time I went to Universal Studios, and they had it wasn't during the holiday, but they used to have this walkthrough. It was like there was this one year, it was Van Helsing. Damn, that's a fucking old time. But I remember walking to that place, and it looked like movie quality, like haunted house. Like if you go to Universal, it's the same thing. Like if you go during the like Halloween season, spooky season. But I remember when I was a kid, I've never experienced like a haunted house like that. I never done that. And I kind of like that feeling of being scared and not knowing what's around the next corner. And the next year, me and my parents went again, and it was the Mummy that they had the walkthrough, and I was a huge Mummy fan. I had watched the movies over and over again. I knew all the lines. I had like stuff from the movies, like action figures, and I even wrote my own Book of the Dead thing. I used to look at shots from the movie and try to copy what it looked like. I was a big, I love the Mummy. I still do. And I like the whole lore of like the curses and stuff like that. And I think that kind of, and then the archaeology kind of stuff. I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was a kid. So like discovering stuff that is unknown or wasn't found yet was like a big thing. To me, especially with that movie, because they're archaeologists and they're trying to find this, and they happen to find the curse of Mummy and stuff, and that always fascinated me too when I was a kid, and I was really into like Egyptian stuff, and Like I knew there was like tombs that haven't been like found in the at the time there wasn't that many, and now there's like a bunch of tombs that they found after that in the Valley of the Kings, and that always fascinated me, the curses and stuff like that. And I went to the Universal, and they had the mummy walk through haunted house thing, and I was in heaven, man. I was scared because it was crazy. There's like they had the mummy soldiers, and they jump off the walls and scare you. And there's a part where there's a bridge, and you see like Rick fighting Imhotep or something, like a sword fight or fighting those things, and it was cool, man. Like I thought it was a cool shit, and they had like the props from the action movie, so I got to see like I guess it's kind of like a Necronomicon, but it's like the Book of the Dead and the Book of Amun Ra, the Book of the Living, and they had all that shit there, and oh, it was so cool. They even had the key, they had the swords from the movie, and I thought it was like the coolest shit, and so that I think that kind of feeds into the ghost hunting thing, because I like the mummy curses, like being afraid, and then just liking the feeling of being afraid in a haunted like house, and then seeing people like. And then when I got older, I was like, it's more doable, like because like night vision cameras were expensive as fuck back then. They weren't really acquirable by your normal consumer. So then now that they have handy cams with fucking night vision on them, and I actually had 2 of them because we used to film the Cloud9 show with them. And I always wanted to do like go ghost hunting, or at least visit a famous haunted location. And I never had like friends at the time, and then with the band, and then they were interested with that, Cameron and Pickles. And then my girlfriend, when we were just talking back then, she was like, yeah, let's do it, and so I was like, all right, like let me look up the most place that we could do for free, so that's why I found Haunted Hill, the one that's at the end of the hall. It's like a trail where some weird hermit looking homeless motherfucker used to lure or take prostitutes up there and murder them and stuff like that. And it was in that area, so I was like, let's go check it out. I got these night vision cameras, and that's the only thing we had. And we actually got some evidence at night, like walking, like weird, like cigarette smoke that would come out of nowhere, and then someone saying "yoo-hoo," like trying to get our attention. And it was weird because only Jimmy could hear it, and he used to kill women up there, so that was pretty crazy stuff, man. And that's what got us hooked. And after that, I was like, we gotta do more. Like, this is crazy stuff. It's just fun, like it's fun, like being scared. And I wasn't really scared at that time. I was more like curious. And then I don't think I ever got really scared until like we went to that SH house, and that place scared the shit out of me, because I never had objects being thrown before, and we were pretty fresh into the ghost hunting world, so that was pretty crazy. And that, for our first season, that place scared the shit out of me. I wish I could go back. Like, I don't know who owns it now, but I think someone actually like lives there, because it was just a house. That place scared the crap out of me. That was probably the only time I felt like I wasn't safe with something I couldn't see. Like, that's the first time I've ever felt like that in my entire life. Like, if you watch that video, like, I'm scared. Like, I might like play it off pretty cool, but I was fucking scared. And I wish we were still running the cameras, because I wish we didn't leave right away. But we got like scared out of there. We had rocks being thrown at us. It was like constant too. It wasn't just like they were just like, like, oh, the rock there. It was like all like there's 3 people like just throwing rocks at us, and you could hear them hitting around us, like going past your head or hitting like the fucking van. And we went inside, and then when we left, they were still throwing rocks at the van. You could hear them hitting the windows and shit like that. And it was a crazy experience. I don't even know. And that kind of solidified me as like, I want to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm a fucking ghost hunter, And now, like, almost 30 investigations in, I'm still on more. It's hard to be in a ghost investigation. You gotta have, you gotta find places that allow you, or places that aren't too expensive, But it's a fun thing to do. I would suggest someone to at least stay in a haunted location at least once in your life, It's pretty crazy. It's nothing that you've ever experienced. Hopefully you do get experience. Sometimes ghosts just don't want to talk to you. Sometimes they're just like, it's like humans, you know, sometimes you just don't want to feel like talking to anybody. But I think that's all I got for today. Maybe we'll get more into it, why I'm a ghost hunter and stuff like that, and like my thoughts of what is really happening and stuff like that. But hope you enjoyed your time here. We'll talk to you about some of my family's ghost stories, and most of all the ghost stuff is always on my mom's side of the family. It's just crazy. But see you guys next time. This stuff might be only maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month. I'm not sure. Like most podcasts, sometimes podcasts like this, because it's only me, you know, like, so like maybe it'll just be, unless I get a guest or something, but it might just be either once or twice a month, maybe, I don't know. But if you want more than that, let me know. And if I don't get anything, then I'll know it's cool. It'll just be once a month or once or twice a month. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we got really coming up. I know we're finally going to release the one we did at Vibe. It's a Vibe 505 in a few days. It's just, I finally got the Dark Travels out, because we were supposed to film like the intro, but like the guys just, I don't know, just didn't want to do it or something. I don't know. So finally, I just went back to the footage, and I just turned up my camera up all the way up. So that's why like the intro and outro kind of sound a little, like the audio is a little blah, but at least we got it out, or I got it out. So that came out pretty good. But I'm trying to come up with more ideas that maybe I could do more videos on my own or something like that. I was going to do the Comic-Con one, but I didn't feel like fucking carrying a heavy-ass camera around the whole fucking day. So I didn't do that one. Because I did go to the Comic-Con thing, but I didn't feel like fucking holding a heavy-ass camera by myself and just like pointing at myself all day. I didn't feel like doing that. So I just went with my family, and they had fun. I got to see some celebrities and stuff like that I never thought I would see. So that was the first time going to Comic-Con. I've never been to that before. But so that's Let's Get Paranormal. I'm Joey, and I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what topics you want me to cover, or ghost stories if you want me to, so I can get an idea of what you guys want. Stay spooky. Let me know, or if you got a ghost story, leave it in the comments or on one of our social medias, or DM us or something, and I will read it on the show, and let you know what I feel about it. Or if there's clips that you want me to look at, see if I believe it's fake or not, or if I just it's creepy, send a link. But yeah, see you guys next time. Laters.